Greetings, this is TimeRider. The Porsche 911, or let me see if I can get this, 911, was fifth in the 1999 International Poll for Car of the Century. It is raced in a variety of forms and is among the most successful. The models were air-cooled from 63 to 97 and water-cooled after that. Its roots can be traced to the original drawings, which were done by a Porsche family member whose nickname was Bootsy, which I think is far out. This is a timeless casting that Matchbox began producing in 1978, but the casting lasted quite a bit longer than that. I've done one of these before, and that one is my most fourth viewed video. I had so much fun with the first one, I decided to do another. I paid a shade over $7 for this one, and I'm going to try to make a heartbreaker out of it. So stick around. The toy was held together with two posts. You know, the 911 was the most popular car made by Porsche. And there's our wonderful Lesney trailer hitch. Because I know when I buy my Porsche, I'm going to want to pull a boat with it. And here's all the fiddly bits. And there's my thunder stick. We're going to drill this bad boy out. 1/16 inch. One in the front, one in the back. I'm surprised that didn't go on the floor. Usually almost everything I drop goes onto the floor, underneath the bench, all the way to the back where I have to get down on my hands and knees to get it out. 2-56 tap. And a button screw, because at some point in time I am going to have to put it back together. And we're going to clean up the post a little bit because I want it to go together easily. And then it's time for a bath. So, paint removed, time to clean the casting up, get it ready for paint. You know, Porsche 911s are made in Stuttgart, which is a fun German word to say. Germans got a lot of fun words to say. Stuttgart. They originally called them the 901s, but these French guys got their undies in a bunch because their car always has a zero in the middle of it, and I guess they felt some kind of exclusivity. They only made 82 of them, and then they changed it to the 911. Just using Tamiya light gray here. I was probably out of white, or there was a while there I had a funky can of white that did some weird stuff with the top coat. I wound up throwing it away, so this might have been all I had. Normally, because I'm going to paint the car red, normally I would have used white. I use white for most things now anyway. Now I mixed this red a little bit. Actually, I wanted to brighten it up a little bit, so I threw a little yellow into it. Not a lot. But look how dark it's going on, and I realize the primer has a lot to do with that, but it was really weird while I was painting the car. I kept thinking, boy, this is so dark. And when it dried, it wasn't all that dark at all. So as per usual, putting a tack coat on it here. Let it dry for 15-20 minutes. I don't time it, I just kind of look at the clock and say, okay, I'll come back at this point. And then we're giving it successively heavier coats. Boy, paint fast. Trying to get in every nook and cranny of this thing. Then I shut the doors before I put the wet coat on. It wound up being the color I was going for, though. I wanted a really bright red. And then you can see when I have it under the light here, it dried really bright. And I'm just painting some detail work here on this back spoiler. See, this is so long ago, I don't even have my new detailing brushes. I thinned out the black a little bit. And here's where I noticed I had problems, because I had a couple of little, had a flea bite on the fender and a flea bite on the hood, and I had saved some paint, and I stirred it really well. And I went to touch it up like I've done 100 times before, because I've done this before. I've seen Marty do it too. But the paint didn't match. It dried a little bit brighter. And I think I said it once before. You know, I'm kind of past the point, for me anyway, where good enough is okay. I don't want it to be good enough. You can really see it there. So I kind of, I thought about it a little bit, about what was I going to do, and in the meantime, I figured I'll do some more detailing on this. You can see the spot on the hood really easily. I need the practice. But I knew that I was going to have to start over. So I had these wheels and tires that I wanted to use. They were kind of a spoked affair. So I painted them red like the car because I wanted them to have red on the inside. And then I just used a Sharpie to make the raised areas black. And of course, I have to fit an aftermarket axle in here. So I need to file that channel out a little bit, make it just a little bit bigger. And I want to still use that center section. So once I get the channel to the right size, you can see I can't get it through. So what I generally do is, by hand, I take my 1/16 inch drill bit and kind of bore that out a little bit until I can get it through. The glass, I don't know, it wasn't in real good shape, but I thought I'd try to pretty it up a little bit here with some real fine sandpaper. And then I used polish on it. And I did dip it in Pledge off camera. And here we are with our fiddly bits, and we're going to put it back together. I'd painted the interior brown, a flat brown. That mustard yellow wasn't doing it for me, and of course I cut off the broken hitch and filed off the metal portion that was on the chassis. I'm going to color that back of that seat where I cut off the trailer hitch black. Then we'll put it back together. So let's go back and take a look where we started. This mean green machine with the mustard interior. Wheels a bit beat up. And see where I finally wound up. There it is. The Matchbox 3E. Yeah. I'm just really not liking this.